I will be reading Painter of Polka Dots, Yayoi Kusama, written and illustrated by Young-Ji Cho. In a room crowded with towering canvases and sculptures, you can find a tiny, flame-haired woman working away fiercely. She has dedicated her whole life to making art that has left millions awed and inspired. Because of her health and age, she has to sit in a wheelchair. But no matter, every day she gets wheeled from the hospital where she now stays to her art studio right across the street. Every day she picks up her brush and creates. Who is this woman, you ask? Meet Yayoi Kusama. Yayoi was born on March 22nd, 1929, in a little city called Matsumoto in Japan. Born into an extremely conservative family and growing up against the backdrop of world wars, Yayoi had a pretty troubled childhood. There was constant fighting wherever she was, whether it was in the world around her or even within her home between her parents. The only thing that gave Yayoi freedom was making art. Her mother, however, didn't want Yayoi to become an artist. Art was, in her view, not a serious path for a woman to take. Despite her mother's disapproval, Yayoi continued to draw and paint what she saw in her mind and in the world every single day, trying to materialize all that she felt and observed before it could vanish. Yayoi yearned to go to America where she could have the freedom to make whatever kind of art whenever she wanted. After a lot of convincing, her parents finally agreed to let her go. Yayoi packed her suitcase with 60 kimonos and thousands of drawings, which she planned to sell to make a living. Yayoi was ready to revel in the promising possibilities of the Western world, the glitz and glam of the Big Apple, New York. Yayoi soon discovered, however, that the Big Apple was not as sweet as she expected. Her time in New York was filled with hardship. Not having enough money for many things, she used an old door that someone had thrown out in the street as a makeshift bed, and often went without meals. She spent the little money she had on art supplies. There were many times she felt miserable, but no matter. Every day, Yayoi would continue to make art. She painted and painted until the sounds of her growling stomach and the echoing in her barren room vanished. For Yayoi, art was more than a mere hobby. It was a way for her to make sense of the special way she saw the world, a way that she navigated the deep, dark places of her mind, a way she coped with the mental and physical illness that she faced. Art was the way Yayoi got through life. Ever since she was a child, Yayoi saw things other people could not see. She had visions where non-living objects would come to life. One day, as she stood among a bed of flowers by her home, she was shocked to see that the flowers had grown faces, their leaves forming into limbs, their stalks swaying in the breeze. They were even starting to talk to her. Another day, she looked down at the tablecloth on her dining table and noticed the polka dot pattern. When she looked up, the dots had spread to the table, onto the floor, seeped up to the walls and ceiling, and into infinity. The dots were everywhere. It felt like the dots would overpower her and consume her. The only way she could find escape from these visions she saw was by materializing them into art. And so she did. By putting what she saw and experienced into her artwork, she was confronting it and controlling it. She put these visions into form and made things that scared her over and over again until they didn't scare her anymore. That's why she kept creating art. Art gave her the power and platform to overcome her fears and fight back against the negative things in the outside world and inside herself. So every day she packed up her pencil or brush or hands and created, and her sincerity and perseverance paid off. Her work started to be recognized and put into museums and galleries all around the world. Her shows sold out. People lined up for hours for a chance to experience her work in person. She was even able to build her own museum in Japan, dedicated to showcasing the many mediums of art she explored. Yayoi's made a lot of art through the years. She's painted canvases, she's molded sculptures, she's painted people in public art performances called happenings. She installed rooms that you can look in or step into that make you feel like you are part of another world. A wonderful world of illuminated shapes, blinking lights, and colorful polka dots. She's constructed immersive rooms filled with thousands of sparkling lights reflected endlessly through mirrored walls, making you feel like simply one dot, one star amongst infinity. Yayoi Kusama dedicated her life to art, and she says she will keep creating until the day she dies, faithfully in her bustling studio filled to the brim with works in progress, because to Yayoi, art is more important than just a way to spend her time. Art is a creed. Art is freedom. Art is life. The end.